I'm gonna come.
Yeah, let's go! Hello everybody, welcome to Coleslaw Cup Season 3, Round 3. All of the threes ties them together and we get 9. Quick maths. Is Shizzle working or is Shizzle not working? Shizzle do be working. Let's rock and roll. Hopefully I've turned my audio on by now. Yes I have. Awesome, that's always good. Now there's a new thing called this overlay, this new experimental feature that I'm going to be trying out here. So I'm going to hit 0 and hopefully this doesn't pop up on your screen. Oh my goodness, oh my dame, oh my goodness, they go in hame. I see chat, this is Pog, okay, awesome. Awesome. Tell you what I don't see, cars driving around, let's fix that. It's a McLaren, woohoo! Hit 0, disappears again. So it does change me over to Cam Tizzle. Who would want to be looking at Cam Tizzle? Pah. Nothing against Cam Tizzle. Unlike Dace. Here comes Lanzi, who has undergone gender reassignment surgery from A-Dub Soda, or the ChatGPT-esque AI that was used to write that poem. I apologise if that was your own haiku. I shall take a hike. That being said, perhaps having our lap data and track map up may be more important than having substandard puns. Haha! Soundboard, baby! It's still here. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were watching Lanzi driving rather slowly around the track. What else is new? What's Shelley doing? Setting a lap. Now that is something new. He's not spun around and in the wall. That was good timing, wasn't it? I didn't even look at the track map. I mean, I definitely looked at the track map and knew exactly where he was as Lusky demotes Shelley down to P2. What's Slayer Eyes doing, the other McLaren? He's vibing. He's doing that much. He's also driving. He's driving and vibing right now. He approaches the final corner as No Jug lays down the gauntlet. Can Slayer Eyes beat that? I'm very surprised he couldn't. At 127.6 from NLR No Jug, not to be confused with NRL No Jug, as this one actually exists past 2021. Hey Dub, what's he doing? He's driving around. He's set his lap. Who hasn't set their lap? Well, Lanzi hasn't yet. Neither has Cali Rob. Lanzi just went purple there in Sector 2. Not seen the best of Lanzi as of yet. Hopefully that changes. The DRS wide open as he makes his way down this straight. Hopefully somebody can knock No Jug off of his little pedestal at the top of the results, because oh no. Oh, Sharia Coleslaw. Let's have a look. In 4K. Not 4K, but close enough. There he is. On the side of the track. Tragic. What's Lanzi doing? Down at the straight he goes. DRS wide open, helping him to really hit those top speeds. Doesn't have the little triple DRS trick that the Red Bulls are using. This, whoa. Hello, Alfa Romeo. Where did you come from? He just emerged from platform 9 3/4 or whatever the hell it's called. DRS wide open, sticks to the right hand side, crosses the line. Only a 128.5, not good enough there from Lanzi. I'm sure by his own standards. What else is going on? Well, we've got Cali Rob, he's up in P14, not where he would want to be really, a 129.6. Not as fast as he would want, really. What's going on with VTech? What's VTech doing? He's going 5 seconds slower than his usual time, so yeah, perhaps not on a push lap. Neither is Hightower. As you can see, the DRS light at the back of Hightower's car flashing, meaning he is harvesting electrical energy and therefore not pushing. Flying Fish coming into the pits. DC man-a-man. Down the straight he goes with his fish helmet. Hardly any ERS left as VTech. Oh, VTech, what are you doing, mate? Who else is even still on track at this point? Carly Rob is. What's he doing? Is he pushing? It looks like he... whoa. Well, his lap's in the bin. Cam Tizzle, 10 seconds off the pace, so he's also not on a push lap. Lanzi crawls into the pits. Shall we have a look at the standings? That is, if I can remember what the keybind is. Now, we may see the calendar here. We may see the standings. We may see the calendar. I don't know which one. But that's sort of the fun of the broadcast, is you don't ever quite know what you're gonna get until you get it. None of these professional streams that take the fun out of everything. It's the calendar. Okay, well, we had a 50-50 chance. We tried to get the standings. We got the calendar. Let's have a look at it anyway. We got Monaco next, then Canada, Austria, Great Britain, France, Hungary, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Italy is our European leg of the season. Then we are back to USA, but over to Austin, Texas for the Circuit of the Americas. Then we have Mexico, and then we end off the season in Brazil. Bang. Let's hit the other key on the keyboard that must surely take me to the standings, where you will see NLR No Jug at the top. Unlike Dace. Haha. That's going to get old so unbelievably quickly. But I'm here for it. Still not much going out on track. Dusty in P2 in the standings as he sort of snuck in there under the radar. Dace in P3, underachieving as per usual. Lanzi P4, he'll want to be elevating himself up above that position, though it doesn't look like anyone is putting much of a threat here to NLR No Jug, who's dominated both of the two opening rounds of the season. Let's see, we've got DC Manaman in P5 with his teammate Calibob just behind him in P6, so not bad for the Aston Martin constructors with A-Dub, the Poet, behind them. Then the two Williams, the Shreya Coleslaw and NFS Lightwork behind them. Lightwork with the DNF in the second race of the season, so perhaps his position not quite representative of his pace. Then we have Sheldon Turtleton, who is okay if he can finish, and he has done for the past two races, so fair play to him. VTech P11 with Beamer Blunt behind him, then Bacon, then Hightower, Cynical and Knuckles, with Slayer Eyes rounding off the full-time drivers. Let me hit 1 on my keyboard and hopefully we're back to the action. You can see NLR No Jug coming through turn 1. We're going to hop on board. Well, actually we don't need to, because we can see the rear of the car there from the off-board angle, and we know he's pushing because he's not saving the ERS. He only has a very slim advantage though over Lightwork. Unfortunately I missed that because I am a bozo. But you know, we'll live with it. Purple Sector 1, 3.5 tenths faster than his personal best so far. DRS wide open down the straight, which isn't very straight for a straight, but I don't have any more commentary to add onto that, so we're just going to have an awkward silence. Anybody want the ASMR of a drink being poured into a cup? I'm here for it. I don't even know if this comes through on the mic. Oh, look at that for a slipstream. NLR No Jug tucked up right behind his teammate Impossible Bacon. That was a huge toe. That's going to gain him a lot of time. As through the final two corners he goes. Will he improve? I'm sure he will. Can he get into the 126s? Yes, he can.
Bang! It's good!
126.858. Quite frankly, impervious appearing time up there with Lightwork getting a bit of a lock-up. He's 3 tenths up in his time, but that's not going to be enough if he can't make any more gains, and that little wobble there would suggest that seems unlikely. Yep, it's just over 5 tenths off No Jug, not where he wants to be. Dace still in the pit lane. A-Dub has improved up into P4, he'll be happy with that. Dusty Lusky coming into the pits. Unlike DC Manaman, who is wringing the neck of that Aston Martin car. Through the little uphill chicane he goes, a little bit bumpy. It's not the most comfortable bit of track, I must admit. Exiting right on the edge of the track there with his right wheels almost up against the barriers, a purple sector 2 time according to the track map. Still over 5 minutes left of this session though, so plenty of time remaining. Ooh, up close and personal with the barriers all the way through that third sector. And crosses the line up into P3. A very strong time there by DMCA copyright claim YouTube strike system. Which I hope we don't get hit by for the stream song that I'm using. At the beginning of this broadcast, first time we've had a little tune to accompany the starting soon little stream thing. I was quite happy with that one. Dace still in the pits, so I don't get to use my slippy soundboard sound effect quite yet. As here comes Cam Tizzle saving his ERS, it would appear, but he's only 1/10 off his personal best. Running very low on the ERS though is Cam Tizzle, and that's going to hurt his ability to improve. He may struggle to put in a better lap time here. And yeah, he does in fact peel himself off into the pits. Impossible Bacon using the DRS down the straight for the extra top speed advantage, taking that corner well, though he may be pitting because again, ERS light flashing, and yep, in he goes. Here comes MMR Slayerized. Oh, you didn't have to, Slayer. I mean, I was waiting for Dace. I was waiting, and you know, I applaud him though. Thank you very much, good sir. That was very, very kind of you to sacrifice your own lap so that I could press a button on a keyboard. Here comes Hightower. With 0.3 laps of fuel left, so I'd imagine he'd be pitting. And yeah, any driver worth watching is on an end lap or is in the pits. Actually, Beamer Blunt is on an out lap. Correct myself there. A very long out lap. I mean, over 4 minutes long this out lap. If you're gonna build up to your lap this much, give us this much suspense, then I'm hoping it's gonna be a good lap. No pressure. We shall see as A-Dub retires from the session. I believe that is in the pits. The Alfa Romeo there keeping well out of the way of Beamer Blunt. He has begun his hot lap. Through sector 1, he pushes that Haas car. And on to the flat out section that makes up the majority of sector 2. DRS wide open as soon as the line appears. Braking hard into the left-hander using plenty of curb. Maybe, maybe not. He does on the second part though. One of those tricky corners where you don't quite... You want to get on the power as quickly as you can, but sometimes you've just got to wait a little bit. Give it a little bit of time. Be patient. And he's over 8/10 up on his fastest time so far, so that's already getting him in the realm of a 1:28, which is a big improvement upon that P16 time that he currently possesses. Most guys are now on an out lap as Hightower retires from the session. He won't be setting any further laps and will be starting at best P18. And across the line goes Beamer Blunt. Takes P13. A solid showing in qualifying. Dusty Lusky well up on his time. But No Jug is also pushing, and you go on board the No Jug and it looks like you're just riding a roller coaster. Oh, there he goes! Well, if you're on that sort of roller coaster, then health and safety authorities might be getting in touch. You might be at Alton Towers. Oh my goodness me. Everywhere I look. Which is why I'm going to look at Dace. Staring him down. Will the track be slippery for the flying fish? It stays tight to the left-hander. All comfortably flat out for the Mercedes man. All over the curb in. On the side as well, he's got an Alpine company that gets out of the way as well as they can do at a section of track that's difficult to get out of the way in. And then down the straight goes Dace. Sets a purple middle sector. DRS wide open. Not really getting much of a tow from anyone though. Unlike No Jug, who got the tow of a lifetime from his teammate Impossible Bacon, so it's unfortunate for Dace that he doesn't have a teammate, even though he tries to get a new one every week. DRS wide open as he crosses the line to take P3. Here's Lightwork. What can Lightwork do? He's 2/10 up on his time as well, but he needs to find quite a bit more time if he is to challenge the impervious NLR No Jug, who is currently coming to the pits after that spin on his hot lap. So DRS wide open for Lightwork. Through the left-hander. Here he is. He's approaching the corner. Can he beat No Jug's time? No, he cannot. He stays P2. Only just short of the 1 minute 26s. What else is going on? We've got Shelly the Turtle. He has invalidated his lap time. And that's the end of the session. No Jug claiming his third pole in a row, I believe that is. The man is unstoppable on one lap pace as we have a Canadian front row lockout. Oh, hey. Good front row lockout there, buddy. P3 Dace TG with Dusty Lusky, another Canadian in P4. And we have Electric Blade and DC Manaman in his Aston Martin with the Dutchman of Lanzi just behind him in P7. A-Dub P8 with Bacon P9 and Cam Tizzle rounding out the top 10. Scavney, Calirob, Shelly the Turtle and MMR Beamer. Then we have Shreya, VTEC and Hightower. So, here we are. The allotted strategy time that I accidentally spoke through the entirety of last week. Now I have a feeling that this week we won't be so fortunate to have it go by in a blur. We have our 3 T-posing mechanics for each team. And an NFL stadium as well in the background, Hard Rock Stadium. So, not particularly, not a particularly interesting scene. But hopefully it will be a particularly interesting race. We did have a pretty interesting qualifying session. I wonder how fast No Jug actually could have been in the end there if he hadn't spun on his hot lap. But even then, no one could get near him. But that toe from Bacon on that final straight, I think, made up a lot of the time on that lap as well. So perhaps him and Lightwork in true pace are actually going to be pretty close. Stace is always there or thereabouts behind them. And I think Lanzi will be trying to make up some positions as well. Dusty Lusky, I'd imagine his game plan would be similar to the past 2 races, where he just sort of gets his head down, doesn't make mistakes, and his position depends on if anybody ahead of him makes mistakes, and he capitalises on that. About 15 seconds remaining until we can finally see a car. That'd be nice. Word of a lie, actually, because you do see the safety car down there at the end, the medical car next to it, but I mean, they don't go Formula 1 pace, they go about army pace, so not particularly interesting as the timer ticks down. And here we are, we're ready to start the formation lap. Let's hit triangle, let's hide the UI. Who are we, Alma Jacko? No, we most certainly are not. And NLR No Jog leads them away and will set the pace for this warm-up lap. Some drivers still haven't moved off of the start. As there we are now all fully moving. No Jug weaving along to warm those tyres up. He's starting on the medium tyre. Let's have a look what everybody else is going to be starting on. He has Lightwork just behind him on soft, so he's going to be a big threat off the start. Then it's 3 medium runners, and then 3 hard runners, and then another 3 medium runners. As that concludes the top 11 drivers. So a real mix of strategies here. All 3 tyre compounds being used. Lightwork doing a similar thing to what he's done for the past part of the season, where he is not afraid to start on a softer compounded tyre that most drivers wouldn't usually touch, and try a contra strategy. He will certainly be eager to get past NLR No Jug into the final corner, or on the into the first corner, sorry, or at some point within the first couple of laps. A very quick adjustment, because that does seem a little bit loud. There we are. And to 5 red lights we go. We have a strange audio glitch going on. It's lights out and away we go. Not sure exactly what's going on here and why there is no desktop audio all of a sudden. And now it's back again. I hate this game. Dace up to P2, Dusty Lusky up to P3 as around has gone light work all the way to the back, so he's not going to be able to make use of those soft tyres. Do apologise about the anticlimactic beginning of the race, but that is the case when you have to use a Codemasters game. So away leads No Joke. He's got Dace just behind him in P2, who once again for the second race in a row has made up a few positions in the first couple of laps. Lanzi chasing down Electric Blade, but he is on those hard tyres which won't quite have the same amount of grip. Right up behind him though is Adolf, looking to make a move on the Dutchman. Can he send that Ferrari around the outside of the Red Bull? Side by side, will he tuck back in for the switchback? Yes he will. The outside for Adolf before he has to then tuck in, looking to do that one-stop strategy where he goes onto the mediums about halfway through the race. Back on board with Dace as he tries to chase down the championship leader and LR No Jug. Dace knows he's got to start making some challenges to No Jug pretty soon or the championship is going to sail by him. DC Manaman making the move on Adolf. They're going to be side by side going into the final corner. Down the inside goes DC Manaman. Holds the inside, forces Adolf out wide, but they keep it pretty clean. Adolf wants to super on the outside, which will turn to the inside for the final corner. DC Manaman gets a bit of a swapper on, but he's managed to control it and has to tuck right back in behind the Ferrari driver. Down the inside he goes now. Goes deep but keeps it on the track and makes a fantastic overtake there on Adolf, who has to settle for 7th place for the moment, but he's going to come back at DC Manaman. Going to take the outside line, looking for the switchback, the up and under. Can he get a better run through the next few corners? Completely different line between the two drivers. A more aggressive driver probably would have sent it down the inside there, but I think Adolf made the wise decision by not going for it. He's got a very long straight here to try and make this move as we watch on from the possible Bacon's perspective of this battle. Of course, no DRS enabled just yet, but DC Manaman is already struggling on the ERS, as you can tell from the light flashing on the back of that Aston Martin car. Cam Tizzle making his way past Beamer Blunt, who can't defend, but he might be able to attack again down the inside there. Cam Tizzle didn't have the greatest corner, but manages to retain that position. Adolf falling behind a little bit from DC Manaman now, who does seem to have some very impressive pace. Hopping back on board with Dace, who has managed to keep NLR No Jug honest, and Dace should have the DRS now on the next DRS straight, as long as he doesn't have, well, on the next one available after the lap begins, which will be the second DRS straight of the lap. No Jug setting the fastest lap in the race. He's got about a sector to try and break that DRS gap to Dace, which I don't see happening unless there is a big mistake in there from Dace. Any more battling going on? There is down there with Shelly the Turtle on the back of Calirock. He is not close enough. No Jug does seem to have a big pace advantage, and he nearly did break the DRS there, but I don't think he's going to quite manage it. He clearly used a lot of ERS through that first sector, I would imagine, in order to try and break it. Dace is going to retain that advantage. Adolf and Bacon getting very close. Bacon with the DRS, but so does Adolf. That will cancel out the advantages gained, but Bacon goes to the inside with the benefit of the slipstream earlier on in the straight to give himself some overspeed. Down the inside under braking, Adolf swoops around the outside, which will then turn to the inside. Bacon may have to back out of this one. He finds himself under a little bit of pressure, even from the Red Bull of Cam Tizzle. He may try and sneak it past him, but they all go back to being line astern through these next few corners. Dace again with the DRS on NLR No Jug, trying to keep him honest and trying to keep close to him. He can gain a couple more tenths, perhaps Dace can look at making a move or attempting a move down one of the straights. Bacon getting his way past Adolf, unless Adolf can come back at him down the outside, which turns to the inside. Which driver will have the DRS, or will they both have the DRS? Or will neither of them have the DRS? The latter being the outcome there. Cam Tizzle does have the DRS though. He does not have a way of making a move there as they go side by side. To a thin portion of the track, Adolf still on the inside now. They make a little bit of contact almost as Bacon washes out wide. Cam Tizzle looking to be opportunistic here, but Bacon's going to try and hold it down the inside here on Adolf. He's not giving up just yet. Adolf has to take the outside line, which is going to turn to the inside. Still side by side here as Cam Tizzle watches on from behind in frustration. Then Adolf switches it to the inside. And he manages to make that position up on Bacon, but then Bacon gets a better exit. That's going to invite Cam Sizzle to possibly nail both of them, as they're going to be 3 wide down the main straight. Bacon's not going to have the DRS here, and he may lose out to both drivers here. Will they be 3 wide going into the next corner? No, Cam Sizzle will be cleanly passed, but Adub may look to make a move on him, and that is Bacon still there on the outside as well. He doesn't want to give up that position that easily. Adub has to leave the space on the inside. Every time you have to leave at a space. But then as they get to the chicane, they know they can't go side by side through there. Dace has dropped out of the DRS of NLR Nojok, who will be looking to try and control this race from now on as well. He played his 3rd victory in a row, but there are many, many laps left. And NFS Lightwork making his way back through the field after that turn 1 incident slash spin slash who knows what it was. We couldn't exactly hear it. Down the inside. Tries Lightwork, he has to back out though, not fully committed to that move on Calibob, but he has another straight to try and make the move now, but Calibob I'd imagine will have the DRS from the car ahead of him as well. Yes, he does. It's all kicking off ahead of them as well. As that's Beamer Blunt and Bacon. Bacon on the inside of Beamer Blunt. We've got a spin at the last corner, that's Hightower. Bacon making the position up, but may open it up to Scabney to sneak past Beamer Blunt as well, but he quickly has the door closed on him by the Haas driver, who is struggling for ERS. Scabney having to take it slow through there to not hit the rear of the slower Haas car. And Lightwork out of nowhere down the inside of Scabney. I didn't even see that one come in. Scabney wants to come back at him here though. Scabney and Lightwork both with DRS, but Scabney with a greater straight line speed. It would be foolish for Lightwork to send it, you'd imagine, but he sends it anyway, down the inside. That will turn to the outside, and yeah, Scabney is cleanly back past him again. The move not really on there for the Williams driver, who I'd imagine is pretty motivated to try and make these moves. On that soft tyre, he knows that advantage isn't going to last forever, and he needs to make use of it now. Scabney, though, seems to have a really low drag setup. He just flies in a straight line. Behind them, Shelly the Turtle is stuck with the slipstream of Calibob. He's a little bit too far back to send that down the inside, though. Calibob gets slowed up by Lightwork ahead. Can Sheldon Turtleton make a move into turn 1? He cannot make the move. Lightwork still looking to make a move on Scabney as well. He may have to be patient and wait for the DRS straight, though it will be more entertaining for us if he makes it sooner. Taking a lot more curb is Lightwork, a bit of a riskier line, but certainly a quicker one as he tries to close up on Scabney and get himself in a position to make an overtake, looking to get a better exit on the AlphaTauri driver as they cross over the DRS detection point. Both Scabney and Beamer Blunt struggling for ERS, but Scabney has the DRS, the only RS that matters, and to the outside he goes, and Beamer Blunt can't defend that one, and Lightwork left in the dust by Scabney, who puts a car between him and his Williams Challenger. Up ahead, Bacon only 3/10 behind Bacon 3/10 behind Adub. Perhaps looking to make a move down this straight as well, as he will have the DRS at least to close up on Adub. If not overtake the Ferrari driver. He has the slipstream, he has the DRS. Adub swerves to break the toe a little bit as Bacon continues to gain, and down the inside goes Bacon, who will emerge ahead. It seems to be Adub, which is actually counterintuitively good for Bacon, as he will then get the DRS as he switchbacks through the final corner. The DRS wide open, we've got a spin out of the last corner, that seems to be Sharia Coleslaw, but to the outside goes Impossible Bacon on Adub. They're still side by side. Italian civil war between Alfa Romeo and Ferrari here as the Ferrari driver shrugs off their challenge on his Alfa Romeo counterpart. Bacon still looking to make the move, though. He's keeping himself close in behind Adub. Lightwork still on the back of Beamer Blunt as well. DRS wide open for Impossible Bacon. Looking to make the move here on Adub. tucked up in the slipstream, and then to the inside he goes, and for what seems like the 55th time so far this race, we see these two drivers side by side, and A-Dub wins out on this occasion. But Impossible Bacon is not going anywhere. He is keeping it, A-Dub, very honest. And let's just pop all the way back to a Shreya Coleslaw so that we can go. And then let's return to the action. Beamer Blunt tucked up right behind Scavney, who overtook him earlier on in the race. Both of them struggling for the DRS as they did earlier. Cannibal getting past Lightwork as well, who's perhaps starting to struggle with the wear on those soft compound tyres. Clearly not the right strategic choice for him, but hindsight is 2020. Shelley making it past Lightwork as well as he decides he is going to box off of those soft compound tyres. It'd be interesting to see if he puts hard on and tries to stretch this to the end, or if he will go for the two-stop. I feel like he will go for the two-stop. Lightwork always seems to go for the most fun strategy option, as opposed to what might necessarily be the quickest or most effective in terms of results. But he just goes to the hard tyres. Still manages to come out ahead of on. Anyway, Bacon has the DRS here on A-Dub. He looks like he may be a little bit too far back to make the move this time, but he's keeping himself very close to that Ferrari. Shelley all over the back of Calirob as they go side by side now through this long right-hander. It seems to never end, but when it does end, the Aston Martin driver is on top. Shelley has to settle it in behind. Shelley performed a lot better this season than he did last season, an improvement there for the Pennsylvania. Beamer Blunt still keeping Scavney honest, though Scavney has pulled out a bit more of a gap on this lap so far. He is trying to keep it close to Bacon, who is still all over the back of A-Dub. This battle. Oh, big twitch there from Bacon. That could have ended in disaster. It didn't, but he's going to lose the DRS. So A-Dub is going to lose a lot of time there with that mistake. And that may cost us a few more laps of this awesome battling. Scavney could be invited to make a move on Bacon here as well, who is going to be kicking himself for making that mistake. And here goes Scavney with the DRS, with the overspeed, cleanly past Impossible Bacon. Can Bacon fight this one back with the switchback? Taking the outside line, we could carry a little bit more speed, but you don't get, you have to travel a longer distance when you're on the outside, so it doesn't quite pay off for him. And he has another little twitch there, but not as big of a twitch as Slayer Eyes just had, because he is he's spun around, and Shreya Coleslaw manages to make the easiest move they'll ever have to make. So easy in fact that it wasn't really a move. Bacon still on the back of Scavney, who is now 2 seconds behind A-Dub, so A-Dub has really had the pressure lifted from his shoulders. Bacon does seem to be struggling though with the rear tyres. A little bit twitchy. It seems apparent that Dace just can't match the pace of No Jug. I'd usually try and cover the leaders, but at this point in time, there's just so much going on in the midfield. Shelley still all over the back of Calirob, and Calirob all over the back of Beamer Blunt, and Beamer Blunt all over the back of Bacon, and Bacon all over the back of Scavney and Rap God. Oh, and off goes, who's that? Beamer Blunt. He manages to keep it going though. Just took a wide line. That's all he did, folks. He just took a wide line. No mistake there. It was a conscious decision. Calirob under a lot of pressure now from Shelley, who's tucked up in the slipstream. Will he go to the left? Will he go to the right? He has to go to the right as Calirob defends the inside line. That outside switch into the inside, it's probably the best place to be for this next corner as Lancy picks up the 3-second time penalty. Can Calirob fight this one back? This is not where you want to go side by side, and Calirob has to back out of that one, give the position to Shelley the Turtle, who will gladly take it. Now here comes Bacon on the back of Scabney, who's struggling with the ERS. That flashing red light acting as a dinner bell to the drivers behind, showing that Scabney has a weakness that they can exploit. Bacon struggling to get the car slowed down, but he does manage it, and he just doesn't seem to have the same oomph on the exit as Scabney does, even with more ERS. It does seem like Bacon is struggling for rear traction, which isn't great coming out of the traction zones like that one. Shelley's trying to keep up with them as well in this battle over. I mean, you see so many cars tucked up in such a ferocious fight, and then you realise what they're battling for is 2 points. 2 points, as is the competitiveness of this field, as Shelley picks up a 2-second time penalty, which won't help him in his quest to get 2 points. Closing up on the back of Scabney is Impossible Bacon, just like he has for the past few laps down the straight. Not close enough. As Scabney goes deep, this might invite Bacon actually, though it's difficult to make a move through this section of the track. It may be possible though that mistake lets Bacon be a lot closer on the exit onto this straight, which could put Scabney under a lot of pressure and perhaps force a move here. Bacon taking a better line through that corner as well, and he doesn't seem to get the bad exit that he has done traditionally, and this could be it here. Scabney struggling with the ERS. Bacon is not, and he's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, he's going to pull to the inside here. And down the inside he goes. Will Scabney be able to make a switchback? No, he's going to try and hang this one around the outside, but runs out of space, but then Bacon loses it. I'm not sure if he managed to avoid the wall there, but he's not going to avoid being overtaken by Sheldon Turtleton. Calibab also looking to make the move, and they may even be 3 wide going into this corner, but it becomes 2 wide as it's Shelley and Calibab fighting over this position. Brooklyn Robert not able to pick up P10 in that little kerfuffle. Beamer Blunt still on the back of Bacon as well after that mistake, so yeah, Bacon been a little bit more error prone than he would have liked to have been so far this race. He does really seem to be struggling for stability, as is Shelley, who has gone deep there, and that's going to invite an attack again from Brooklyn Robert. Tucked up in the slipstream is Calibab with the DRS wide open, as does Bacon. Where can Calibab go? He's going to go to the outside, which does seem to be the best line to take if you're looking to make an overtake in this corner, because then you get the inside for this corner, which seems to be a better line. They do touch, and that gives Shelley some instability. Interrupts the downforce and the mechanical grip a little bit, and shrugs him off. A NASCAR-esque tap there, where you pull the air off of the opposing car, and they lose a little bit of grip and they slide. Shelley though has got a prime opportunity to come straight back at Calibab now with the DRS and the slipstream, not with the ERS though. To the inside he goes on the Aston Martin driver. Did look like he was a little bit hesitant though to really send it, perhaps wanting the DRS, but Calibab 2 wise for that one, and Cam Sizzle comes into the pits. Calibab coming back at Shelley though with the DRS. Into turn 1 they go, with Calibab ahead of Shelley, who wants to come back at him and does. It looked like Shelley tapped the back of Calibab there, perhaps making the Aston Martin driver go a little bit deeper into the corner than he would have liked to, and that compromised his exit. Slayer Eyes picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's a silly Dace-esque mistake that you do not want to be making, as I struggle to speak basic sentences in English, folks. Slayer Eyes coming into the pits as well on those medium tyres. Onto some medium tyres, sorry. Light work all over the back of Cam Sizzle as well, and I'll actually get rid of this tyre graphic because I've only just realised it's been on the entire time. Light work going around the outside of Cam Sizzle, who has no answer at all. Let's have a look at who our big winners and losers are so far. Light work probably our biggest loser thus far, having lost 10 positions as a result of that spin on lap 1. Conversely, VTech is up 6 positions, just doing what he does. That's just literally vibing. That's what he does, he just vibes. And it works. Shelley up 4 positions as well. A good drive from him as I nearly... Did I jinx him there? It looked like he was going off to a position he didn't want to end up in. Perhaps that was just the angle. Electric Blade will be coming out of the pits here as well. Could find himself emerging in a battle. It's past go Shelley and Calibob. Electric Blade settling in just behind them, but of course on fresh tyres. He's going to struggle for this first lap as they take a little while to warm up. But after that, you'd imagine he's going to be on the back of the squabbling Calibob and Shelley the Turtle. Calibob running a little bit wide there, but that opens up the entry to get a really nice exit. Of course, that's very important when you go onto a flat out section like this. You need that exit to aid you all the way down the straight. And if you get a bad exit, that's going to hurt you all the way to the next corner, which is a fair distance away as they reach it now. Calibob taking plenty of curb on each apex there. Not afraid to get bumpy. Of course, picking up the DRS here on the back of Shelley the Turtle as he opens that rear wing flap. Going to be a little bit too far behind Shelley though to think about making a move just yet, as we have P2 Dace TG into the pits, as well as No Joke. Perhaps Dace should actually change his name to Dace TG P2. That seems to be where he lives at the moment, at this moment in time. He comes out just behind Adam. NLR No Joke has actually just come out in P1 after pitting. He does have Lanzi right behind him though, who is on much warmer tyres, and will probably be looking at making a move here. Otherwise he's going to get slowed up too much by that Alfa Romeo, and I don't see a way for No Joke to defend this. He may even lose the position to DC Manaman, who is also going to have DRS. Don't see a way for No Joke to defend this unless he has a lot of DRS saved up. He's going to tuck back up behind Lanzi and perhaps try and send it down the inside. No, he's going to wait patiently behind that Red Bull, and he's going to hope, I'd imagine, to get him back down the next straight. Keep watching on from the angle of DC Manaman, who's got a great view of this and will be looking to perhaps make a move himself. I'm sure he knows that a move on No Joke, the opportunity to make a move on No Joke is going to be a very rare occurrence. And he has to strike now while the iron is hot and the tyres are cold. Well, he's clearly fallen a little bit by the wayside there. No Joke looks to go to the inside here on Lanzi, who opens up the corner for the switchback. No Joke goes a little bit deep, and Lanzi's going to pick up the DRS here. As he goes down the inside, which turns to the outside, but he's very clearly behind No Joke here. Will he be able to send it into turn 1 with the assistance of the DRS? I doubt it, and I think No Joke now is going to be able to stroll away. But hopefully Lanzi can keep him honest and we can have a little bit of a fight here. That would be good to see. As we have a real danger here of No Joke just running away with a championship. Every weekend we think maybe someone can do something here and get at No Joke. And every weekend No Joke just swats away those inkling suspicions as if they were flies trying to land on his jam sandwich. Or maybe his cup of soda. I mean, just because he doesn't have a jug doesn't mean he doesn't have a glass. Let's drop down to Dusty and pretend I never said that. He's pretty close to the back of Scadney. His light work makes the move on Cam Tizzle, but you know what? I wasn't watching, so cry about it. Cam Tizzle getting himself back past light work, so nothing really happened anyway. Dusty able to make a move here on the AlphaTauri if he so wishes. Tucked up in the slipstream with the DRS, and of course the effect of the DRS increases as the speed increases as well. And he makes that move down the inside, though Scavney could look to come back at him with the DRS down this straight. Ada pulling into the pits, as does DC Manaman, which clears the way for Dace to come strolling through. And Lanzi, as I suspected, has lost touch with No Jug, it would seem, though do we have a mistake there from Nojog? Nojog has lost a lot of time. A hell of a lot of time, and we've got yellow flags as well for Scavney, who seems to have lost it. But what happened there with Nojog? Base pick up a 3-second time penalty. And Lanzi has just been invited back onto the back of the Alfa Romeo driver. Though, I think unless Nojog has damage, it should be rather easy for him to extend that gap again. I don't think the game will ever want to give us an actual angle to see. Here we are. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the front of that Alfa Romeo. However, it did turn out that last race Adup had damage which we could not see as a result of this being a terrible game. So, ooh, Shelley the Turtle nearly losing the car there, and this may leave Sharia with an opportunity, but wisely backs out of that one as two cars through this section simply do not fit. MMR Beamer Blunt picking up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Don't know why Beamer Blunt's name was so low there in comparison to the rest of the notification. You'd expect someone with Blunt in their name to be high as opposed to low. Who knows? DC Manaman and Lanzi could be tight here on this pit exit, and Lanzi is ahead, but DC Manaman is going to have the momentum, and he's going to have the warmer tyres, he's going to have more grip on against the Red Bull driver here. And here he is pulling the pressure on Lanzi. He's all over the back of the Dutchman. Only 2/10 separates them. As he goes wide there, gains an advantage by going off track, and I'm sure that will result in him receiving the warning from the stewards, and if he gets 3 of them, that will be a 3-second time penalty. That's how that system works. DRS enabled as he burns the last of his DRS, possibly pretty unwisely. Demoted down to P7. PC Manaman making a little hash of that corner though. Invites pressure back once more. Adub on the back of Cam Tizzle. It's going to enable his DRS. And down the inside he goes on the AlphaTauri driver. The AlphaTauri driver of Scavney running wide though, and oh, he's made a lot of contact there with Cam Tizzle. That leaves Scavney in the wall. Cam Tizzle manages to get away scot-free, and what seemed like it might be a huge incident has turned out pretty minor there. About as, yeah, it's... Calibob losing a position there to Impossible Bacon, a strange part of the track to see an overtake occur. Nojog now 8.5 seconds ahead of Dace. Wide again was Calibob. A lot of drivers extending the track on that right hand side there to gain themselves an advantage down the straight. Lanzi all over the back of DC Manaman now. He will have the DRS as they approach the penultimate corner. Or would you say it's the corner before the penultimate corner? I guess so, but who cares, because here goes Lanzi around the outside, and he should have that done nicely before braking. Not much DC Manaman can do there other than slot back in behind and hope to re-overtake the Red Bull driver down this main straight. Well, the pit straight. Adub getting his way past Lightwork. Lightwork getting a wobble on though, and this could invite Adub to go back down the inside. Neither of them with the DRS. Lightwork trying to pressure Adub there into turn 1, but Adub is going to keep his cool and keep the position. Scavney is all over the place. No! Off he goes into the runoff. Let's go have a look what's happening with DC Manaman. He is in P6. He's just vibing behind Lanzi, who is on the way now. On fresher tyres as well as the Dutchman, so can't exactly blame DC Manaman there for not quite having the pace to stick with the Red Bull driver. Light work tucked up behind A-Dub as he looks to overtake the Ferrari driver. Into the left-hander. Can he make the move? No, A-Dub goes defensive to the inside. Light work looking to maybe make a switch back and maybe try and get a better exit than A-Dub. Doesn't seem like he's managed to do that, though. We will have the DRS, so perhaps still an opportunity for him into turn 1. Ooh, he thinks about it, but then backs back out of that move. Calirob picking up the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:30.225. DC Manaman doing a good job to stay within the 1 second range of Lanzi. On slower tyres, Scavney comes into the pits after what has been a torrid race for him. Light work now only 3/10, now 2/10 behind A-Dub. Now less than 2/10. DC Manaman picking up a 3-second time penalty as well there for multiple warnings regarding track limits. Our 6th driver of the race so far to pick up a time penalty. And he is all over the back of A-Dub still. A little bit of a lull in proceedings finally occurring here on lap 22 of 29. And Shelley decides that he wants to change that. So he goes ahead and causes a full course safety car. Huh. Well, you see, that worked pretty well. Calling a lull in proceedings. I'm just going to go and say, I'm just going to sit here and say £50 will not magically appear in my bank account by the time I wake up tomorrow. Foolproof plan, ladies and gentlemen, because I see no way that that can fail. Scavney will be delighted with the safety car, as will Dace. No joke. Will not be very happy. He's going to pit for soft compound tyres here, as does Dace. Lusky, I'd imagine, will do the same, and so will Electric Blade, and so will Lanzi. The list goes on and on and on and on. I would imagine Calibob's fastest lap will not stand the test of time over the coming 7 laps. Now with the whole field going onto soft tyres, I would assume. Let's have a look and watch this wall slowly descend into red as Lusky gets held up here big time in the pits by his Alpine teammate of Army, who, as well as contributing nothing to the race, has also really damaged a good drive from his teammate. Unbelievable. Anyway, we'll ignore that selfishness and we'll get on with looking over the rest of the grid. DC Manaman has taken a risk here. He hasn't pitted for the soft tyres. Has chosen to promote himself up into P2 on the mediums to, I'm sure, Dace's absolute fury. His fins will be flapping in the cockpit there. He will not be very happy about this, as he's going to have to negotiate a slower car before he can attack No Job. A little bit of a blessing there for No Job. What is going on here between Ramsey and what I can assume is Army, who then hits again? Not sure why he couldn't have waited the last lap if he was going to pull into the pits anyway, and could have not completely ruined his teammates' race. What's going on here? Cam Sizzle has decided to pit as well. He in the bump up into P5. Right. Well, we've got to just sit here and wait through the safety car period. Just got to relax and chillax. Got a lot of cars pretty far behind in this race as well, so the safety car is not going to end until it has reached its maximum designated laps, which I believe is 3. Because it seems unlikely that anybody will catch up to the safety car. Well, it seems unlikely that everybody, will catch up to the safety car. It is going to be an F1 sprint to the finish, it would seem. With most of the field on soft tyres, and the ones that aren't on soft tyres will be the ones that don't have soft tyres that are fresh, and they will be on fresh mediums, with the exception of VTEC and DC Manaman, who are looking to strike gold by hopefully defending for their lives, hoping to not lose too many positions before the race restarts, which will not be on this lap. Unfortunately, Slayerized and Hightower are far too far behind. Hopefully they can catch up before the end of this lap, but I think the safety car will come in regardless of whether they manage to or not. Cam Tizzle coming into the pits yet again. That should drop him pretty far down, even further back than Slayerized, though he should come out ahead of Hightower on what I would guess would be fresh softs. Yep, they are brand new soft tyres for the Red Bull of Cam Tizzle. The entire field is backed up behind the safety car, and we will be ready to go shortly at the beginning of lap 26. So only a handful of laps remaining. Can DC Manaman hold off some of the faster cars behind and get a really nice position here? He'll be hoping to. He's not a slow driver, but he is at a pretty big disadvantage when it comes to the tyre compounds, as is VTEC. Can Dace quickly clear DC Manaman and have a crack at No Jug? It seems unlikely that he'll be able to do it quick enough, as No Jug does seem to have far too much pace, and now he restarts the race. He's got on board with Dace. Let's see, can he get his way past DC Manaman? He's got to send this into turn 1, but he can't. He's not close enough. Lusky and VTEC are battling as well. VTEC on the outside, Dusty on the inside, which is going to give VTEC, give Lusky the position. So I like them trying to make a move on VTEC as well. Tries to hold it around the outside, which turns to the inside, but VTEC manages to keep that position so far. Light work though, still hassling and harrying the Alpha Tauri driver. Dace desperately needs to get past DC Manaman. He is just not close enough. Already having used about 40% of his DRS as well. DC Manaman under a lot of pressure here from the Mercedes driver, who cuts it very fine on the inside there, almost touching the wall, as is the degree to which he's pushing Lightwork, losing a position as well to Kelly Robb. But by the time I would be able to switch over to look at that, we would then be missing Dace attacking DC Manaman. Electric Blade right behind Dace as well, so he's not hanging around either. He wants the podium. Dace wants more than a podium, but it seems like that possibility is going to evaporate from him, as No Jug is already a second and a half up the road. Lightwork losing the position to Impossible Bacon as well. Perhaps Lightwork has some damage because he seems to be really struggling out there. Bacon still all over the back of him. He gets a much better run out of that corner. We've got yellow flags behind. That's for Slayer Eyes, who finds himself facing the wrong way around. Can Bacon make this move? They're still side by side. Through the left, then through the right, then through the left. This track bending like a river. Twisting and turning through Sector 1. Bacon not quite able to make up that position. Dace still on the back of DC Manaman. Now No Jug over 2 seconds up the road from his nearest rival Dace. Lanzi has gotten himself past Electric Blade as well. Aidan on the back of VTEC, who is dropping like a stone. So Aidan running really low on his DRS here. He'll be hoping just the slipstream is enough. So he pulls to the inside. Kelly Robb right up behind them. They make a little bit of contact. Aidan manages to keep it going though. VTEC washed out a little bit wide. And he swipes Kelly Robb into the wall there, possibly accidentally. No, he doesn't quite. It looked like he did. I was almost about to hit the bang, 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 but we don't need it. Electric Blade getting his way past Lanzi, who's facing the wrong way. Dangerous re-entry possibly there as well from him. Yeah, thank the Lord that there's ghosting. Husky on the back of Electric Blade. He taps the wall. Possible Bacon finally making his way past Lightwork, who doesn't have a way to come back at Bacon. Dace still behind DC Manaman. Will he even manage to take second place here? In fact, if Dace had managed to somehow get No Jug, I think the penalties would have come in and saved No Jug anyway, so that is another factor to consider. We have a look at the penalties. They are both on 3 seconds, P2 and P3, so it is a straight, fair fight for the second place of the podium. Clearly DC Manaman made the right choice. Bacon, 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 Bacon. Not where you want to be. I don't know, get up to where he wants to be now, and that's ahead of VTEC. No Jug picking up the fastest lap of the race. He's not content with just getting the points for the win. Dace getting awfully close to the back of DC Manaman, but not close enough to make a move just yet. Manaman also struggling a lot with his ERS levels as well. Just another advantage that Dace has, though the advantage isn't great as Dace's ERS isn't looking particularly healthy either. Slayer Eyes getting his way past Impossible Bacon as well. And this is the final lap of the race as we see Impossible Bacon retiring from the session. How unfortunate for him. Dace still lagging behind DC Manaman a bit, but now he wants to try and make a challenge, possibly into this left-hander. He's not close enough. Dace knows he has one more chance to make this move. He's all over the back of DC Manaman, who is on tyres that have much less grip than Dace's. No Jug looks like he's going to waltz comfortably across the line to win his third race of the season and maintain that 100% win rate in Coleslaw Cup Season 3. Dace may actually fail to get DC Manaman here. He's stuck up in the slipstream, deploying everything, as has DC Manaman. To the outside goes Dace. He wants to make this move desperately, but DC Manaman looks like he's going to hold on. I don't think Dace is going to be able to do anything here to get past the Aston Martin driver, and Dace is going to have to settle for P3. Lusky, from the penalties, jumps up to P2. He's done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Dace isn't even going to finish on the podium as a result of the track limit penalties. Electric Blade is going to take home P3. That I did not even see happening. That was just insane. Army picking up another penalty. That might even send him... he's got to be careful. He's ended up 2 minutes behind. Slayerized crossing the line to end off the race. Wow, wow, wow. What a finish. That was... yeah, those penalties came absolutely out of nowhere. I mean, Dusty Lusky has once again stunned me to silence. Hopefully we can get the guys in for interviews. What a race that was. We've already got No Jug in the Discord, which is great to see. Electric Blade unfortunately cannot attend, however Dusty Lusky can. So let's get everyone dragged over. Dace is going to join us as well for interviews, as Electric is unable to attend. So let's get everybody that deserves to be here moved over, and then we'll also move over Dace. as we stare at the lobby screen. So I mean, we can basically get this started if everybody's here. Let's go on. Let's start with Dace. Why not? Could you? Well, I was expecting you to blast straight past DC Manaman. What happened? Was it a straight line speed offset, or what stopped you from getting by him?
I think just with dirty air and stuff, I just couldn't get quite close enough. I felt like I was faster. I felt like I was almost hitting him in the back every time we were on the brakes hard. But I knew the race was pretty much over once the safety car came out, so pulled a 6-second gap for no reason.
Yeah, and I thought if you could get straight past DC Manaman on that restart, perhaps you could pull 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Save that podium. I mean, once again, Dusty Lusky just pulled a mad one. I didn't even expect it. I was covering you trying to get past DC Manaman. And then you cross the line, and all of a sudden, just Dusty's in P2, and I'm like, he's done it. How does this man keep doing this?
Yeah. If people could keep the car on track, probably would have been a very different result.
Yeah. What incidents did you get tangled up in this time? Any, or was that pretty clean? You just got
no, just the safety car in general coming out with 8 laps to go. It was like, well, nice.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I thought it might be worked for you to try and get past No Jug, and then I realised those penalties are a real killer.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get by anyway. The first few laps, I stayed in his DRS, and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. And then he goes, do you want to start pushing now? And I was like, well, I guess I'll see you later. So I knew that was the end of it once he asked that question. I was like, well, I'm halfway down on battery already.
Yeah, we've got, let's move on to Dusty. Good job, Dusty.
Oh, thank you.
You've done it again.
Honestly, Will, I felt like I deserved this one.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you deserved all of them, right? Because you didn't make the mistakes that everybody else around you made for the first couple of races. But yeah, I mean, talk me through your race, I guess, because we didn't see a whole lot of you. We saw well, you were in quite a few battles actually, to be fair.
Yeah. So I tucked behind Dace for a little while there. I tried to keep up, but I mean, these guys are quick, so I was kind of in my own little race, trying to keep electric blades about 2.5 to 3 seconds behind me, and sitting in P3, I was kind of more than happy to finish with P3. Then that safety car came out, and I decided to pit for mediums, and I got screwed by pitting behind my teammate, who needed a wing change. So my pit stop was like, I don't know, 12 or 13 seconds. And I went from P3 to P7 in, well, one straightaway.
I caught that on the broadcast. I was like, no, I thought that was it. I thought you'd lost out on it, and still, somehow, you dusty your way up into P2 again.
Yeah, well, I got a little sendy on VTEC right after the safety car restart. I just knew, and I mean, no disrespect to VTEC, but I just knew I was a little bit quicker, and I had to get past him right away. And so I was able to do that, and then I was able to catch up to the guys in front through that stupid little under the highway chicane section. And then I was just able to stay within the 3 seconds that they had time penalties for. And then me and I don't actually remember who it was. Had a good little battle going there at the end, I think, if I remember right. It's kind of a blur, honestly.
Yeah, you had the tire offset on VTEC as well. Do you think you can get P2 in the championship come the end of the season? Is that your aim now?
That's my aim. I feel like that's P1. Honestly, I mean, No Jug is in a league of his own. So if I come P2, I'm getting Coleslaw to print me off a little miniature trophy.
the No Jug winner trophy. I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. If No Jug didn't exist in this league, I would have won trophy.
Yeah. It's funny that Dace wouldn't get that trophy. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry, Dace. Let's move on to No Joke.
Lol.
No Joke, you there, buddy?
I am.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello, man. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think I need to add just a congratulations to No Joke button to my soundboard so I can just tap it instead of saying it every week at this point. Um, I don't know what else to ask. You did it again. Did you ever, at any point through the whole of qualifying or the race, think that P1 was even in doubt in the slightest?
I think so. Yeah. Like honestly, I mean, every week there's a possibility. It was the first bankers and stuff were close. I just got lucky with my second lap and put a decent time in, so I was able to take pole with that. But no, every week, man, there's an opportunity for anyone to win the race. It's just it's just down to who's the most consistent and who's the quickest on track.
Yeah, I mean, in qualifying, P2 wasn't a million miles away. I think that was light work, but that toe you got from Bacon down that main straight was just, down the final straight. I'm pretty sure you were
Yeah.
getting the toe from him. Yeah.
You know what? I gotta give a massive shout out to Bacon. Bacon has been a G for the first 3 races. He has been giving me toes. I like just what a great teammate. Honestly, I can't thank him enough for what he's done so far. The guy's been great. So yeah, thanks to Bacon for those.
Yeah. Honestly, man, you keep this going. I mean, we're what, a fifth of the way through the season now. I mean, it's still early days, but yeah, you've been absolutely dominant so far. So congratulations. I'm honestly running out of questions for you at this point because it's just, how was it like being in first the whole time? you know. Yeah, I think that's it. Honestly, I think we're good to end it off there. Honestly, congratulations to everybody other than Dace in the interviews though. Fantastic drives from all of you guys, and oh god, I didn't want to
There he
upset him
goes.
too much. Yeah, good night everybody watching, and good night to you guys in the interviews. GG's, good job, and